Hey everyone, it's Eric. I've wanted to start a sports channel on here for a few years now, and it seems like the perfect time to do it. Anyone who knows me knows that baseball is my first love. That happens when you're from St. Louis. And we have a little bit of hope that the 2020 Major League Baseball season might actually happen. Jeff Passan has recently tweeted out that Major League Baseball intends to propose a season of 50 games or thereabouts where the players will get paid their full prorated salaries. This is an important development, I think, because the last proposal that the owners made was not realistic and the players took it as a joke. It made no progress whatsoever, and when you really dug into it, it was kind of a slap in the face to the players themselves in a completely transparent effort for the owners to just save as much money as they possibly could. This effort seems like it has a chance. And the reason is that the players get their full prorated salaries. This is what the two sides already agreed to in March. So I don't really see. I really struggle to see how anybody is having much of a debate on anything, but here we are. So we have the full prorated salaries for roundabout 50 games. That's not going to be accepted by the players because their most recent proposal was a season of 114 games. The reason for the difference in the number of games is the fact that the salaries are prorated. More games means more money for the players, a higher proportion of their regular salary. So the owners want as few games as possible, and the players, have they want as many games as they can possibly fit into the season. So I think we're at a point now where the players and the owners are actually going to make counter proposals with each other, and I think in the next week or two we're going to have an agreement, and I think by July 4th we're going to have signs that baseball is back. I don't know when the season will start. I'd imagine that if a season's going to happen, it would have to start in July, but I don't know. I do think we're going to have the geographic regions kind of isolated. We've seen the proposals online where the AL West and NL West would combine, same with the Central and East divisions from each league, into 3 super divisions. They would play each other exclusively and then have an altered playoff format to determine a World Series champion. I'm curious to see what happens if 2 teams from the same league make the World Series and how that'll look 30 years from now. I also think it's important that future proposals from either side include what the players included, where players can opt out of a season due to coronavirus concerns. I don't think it's fair for that to not be an option for players. But the overall goal here is to get baseball playing. I think both sides are starting to realize how mad the country is getting at them, how stupid they look to everybody who's paying attention. It goes back to Ken Burns' documentary, and when he talked about the strike in 1994, the segment was called Millionaires versus Billionaires, and that's what everyone's thinking about. How rich are all of these players, and they don't care about anybody else? The entire world is still in a pandemic. We're just coming out of weeks and months of lockdown situations, and now the country is being torn apart by the George Floyd situation. That's a whole nother topic, but it's sad any way you look at it. And because of that, we need baseball. It's a morale boost. It's a sense of life going back to normal. And I think the players and owners need to realize that. Hopefully they do. Hopefully this is a sign that they do. And hopefully in a few weeks we're talking about baseball starting up. This is my first of hopefully many videos. If you want to hear more of what I have to say, go ahead and subscribe and keep an eye out for whatever I decide to talk about next.